in the room who has a question to put to the panel. I'll come to you in a moment. Was there another one I can see? I'll come to you if I may, and there's one behind you. So we'll come back to you if I may. Some foreign experience. Mr. Gilauri, the former Prime Minister of Georgia. I want to talk to you, ask you about what you, from your experience, you think the government's most important role is in bringing competitiveness to an economy and creating the best environment for business. I mean, would you say that you were of the Reagan-Thatcher school, less done the better, you know, the best thing that government can do is to get out of the way, or would you take what I would regard as a slightly more sophisticated
slightly
approach?
More sophisticated approach would be, I would guess, best.
So you're a sophisticated?
Well, yes. First of all, let me thank the hosts of this conference for great welcome and great job done. And also, before I answer your question, I would like to actually congratulate the ministers about this vision that they have, which is incredible for me. It's nothing that I've heard of this type of transformation in this part of the world. And if we are talking about government competitiveness, it's not only about reforms that we hear here, but it's also taking this information outside of this country. It's also telling to the world that this type of transformation is happening in these countries, in this kingdom. And it's also another challenge that the kingdom has to face, because telling the world about this transformation is very important. We faced that in Georgia ourselves because it's a huge transformation in our country, but the world didn't know anything about it. And we had to have a quite big image building campaign worldwide in order to show the world that the country has changed, that there was a new vision, that there was a new transformation in our country. In terms of, for us, it was very important, for example, very simple message that according to the Doing Business report of the World Bank, Georgia was 112th in the world, now it's number 8. And this is a transformation that we did in a very short period of time, and this is a message that we sent to the world. We said to the world that we created a business environment which can help you for your business to grow in our region. And that was our message, which worked very well, by the way. And this transformation took place in a very short period of time, and this transformation was the must for Georgia. I would like to say that improved business environment is the way to diversify for oil-producing countries. But improving business environment is the only way to survive for countries like Georgia. A few years ago, we had actually a matter of economic survival, and I think we had a story only with improving business environment in our country. Economy quadrupled in 8-9 years period of time.
But in that sense, what should the government do more, and what should the government do less in order to improve the business environment that you're seeking?
One more time, 112th place in Doing Business report, number 8 in Doing Business report.
How did you achieve it?
In 4 years' time, Georgia was named as #1 reformer worldwide for the past 5 years.
So what did you do that was so right?
We looked at every single rule and regulation from private sector's point of view. We said that what are the rules and regulations that hinder private sector to come in the country, that hinder private sector to flourish in this country. And I'll just give you a couple of examples, if I may.
Just quick, please.
Very quick couple of examples. For example, we introduced a very simple rule, which says one government rule, which is very simple. Any government agency cannot request to the customer to bring any new paper or stamped paper from different government agency. If one government agency requires that, he or she has to do it himself. So in the past, it was like Ministry of Finance, if you wanted to register your business, would ask you to go and bring some paper from Department of Statistics, from Ministry of I don't know how many different places. Now it's very simple. You go to one place, You say that you want to register company. That's it. You cannot, by law, go to any other agency or
it's
any
a one-stop shop.
It's one-stop shop for whole government. Second, and very important, silence is consent is a principle and law that we introduced, which means that if I apply for license and if I don't get answer in 2 weeks' time, it's yes. That's it. And that actually, thank you.
That's impressive.
Why? Because bureaucrats don't think like that. Bureaucrats think like they are bosses. And we had to change their minds from I am the boss to customer is always right. And if you want to do that, the biggest obstacles, my dear ministers, that you're going to get, it's not public. It's your own bureaucrats that will not like your own reforms. And to do that is to put these two reforms together. One government principle and silence is consent, which means that the bureaucrats now have to think innovatively. They realize that they cannot ask the customer to go somewhere else. They have to do it themselves, and plus they have a short time frame to give an answer.
Sorry, did you say that time frame was 2 weeks?
Well, in some cases, 2 weeks. Yeah, for permits it's 2 weeks. For license it's 1 month. Yeah. So what?
It's coming your way.
So what bureaucrats started to do, they started to come up themselves with innovative measures, saying that, my minister, these stamps and these regulations are completely nonsense. We don't need so many stamps. We don't need so many regulations. It was on them. And bureaucrats know the best, not ministers, not prime ministers. Bureaucrats know the best how to simplify rules and regulations. We just had to create an environment where bureaucrats had to do it. And it was an incredible transformation of mindset from I am the boss to becoming customer-oriented. We created a very innovative idea of public service hall. It's actually one place where any service that a customer, citizen, or a businessman want to get is given in that one place. More than 300 different services. And you go there, and that's it. From registering marriage, registering birth, registering land, registering business, registering company, registering contract, anything, you name it, it's done there. With a minimum line of waiting, with minimum everything, with minimum price, and it's done in one place. I understand that IT technology is great, and I love it, and it's definitely future. But in case of Georgia, I don't know how it is in case of Saudi Arabia. In case of Georgia, IT technology is great, but it takes time for public to absorb. And for example,
it takes time for them to get over the shock.
Exactly. It takes time to get over that the paper is the king. For example, when I was Minister of Finance, I said that all taxes has to be filed electronically. And I said, no problem, it's a very simple thing. Only 10% of businesses started doing that. We couldn't do anything about it until we said that it's illegal to file with paper. For some reason, even the private sector accountants loved this paper trail. They couldn't understand that it could be done electronically. So until we said that it's illegal, absolutely, to give us paper to Ministry of Finance, until then, it was impossible to push them. So changing the mindset, this one government principle, this silence is consent principle, changing of minds of bureaucrats is something that can actually push this the private sector enterprises forward, that can bring excellent business environment, and it showed in my country how it can diversify economy, how it can grow economy, how it can bring down unemployment, and actually bring know-how from international companies.
Well, that was absolutely fascinating. Thank you very much indeed. And so I'm going to ask the